Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that? Who that to the black and gold nation, man. Sports Coma, Sunday stream. We in the building. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. I'm Big Q. I'm in the building. Much love to the fam. I appreciate y'all guys representing and being in the house for this one, fam. Much love to you, as this one's called Saints Create Nearly 34 mil in salary cap space restructurings, man. And of course, we knew they were going to do it. They have until March the 16th to get under the overage of the 70 plus mil that the Saints have. And the Saints get the business chopping off, according to NFL.com, at least 34 mil of the 70 plus million of it, as the Saints still have some trimming to do. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being on this one. Appreciate the birthday wishes last week. I wanted to give a shout out to the entire Who Dat Nation, the Sports Coma family, the great Saint Think Tank, and all of the family members for your support and your blessings and your well wishing. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm here for you. And we're going to get it together, baby. You heard me? So much love. Please feel free to hit upon the like button if you hadn't hit the like button. Hit the hell out the like button for me. Subscribe if you're not subscribing. And follow family members like Brian Watson and the rest of the family members who recently subscribed as well. So thank you to the fam as well. Thank you, Derek, brother Derek White, for becoming a Pro Star member. Appreciate you, brother, and your support, and the rest of the family members that are doing their thing. So much love to the fam, man, for supporting the platform and the stream as we continue to grow and kind of counterbalance some of the things that go on in the sports world. So with that being said, happy Sunday to the family members. I know this is a surprise stream to the fam right now. Yeah, you're right, Derek. Thank you, bro. All right. So with that being said, fam, I got a few news notes and items to go with you on this Sunday morning, man. I hope y'all had having a really good weekend. I know I'm having one. Me and the fam, we went on over to the Endymion parade yesterday. We were at the corner of Canal and Broad, where we watched it, and we got some beads and stuff like that. You know, my sons had fun, the fam had fun. It was pretty cool, man. Much shout out to the brother that I met there as well. Much love to him at the parade, as well as the brother and showing some love and some respect. A few family members showing love and respect for the platforms. Much love to the fam. I appreciate you guys. So with that being said, hit the like button, fam. In this one, let me give a shout out to the Who Dat Nation before we get going. Who Dat to you, Derek White. Who Dat to you, Matthew Pollard. Mask Up Podcast. Who Dat to you, your boy Cuts. Who Dat to you, BR Fitted 225. Who Dat to you, Josh Goat 23. Who Dat to you, Clint F. Who Dat to you, Who Dat Dana. Who Dat to you, baby. Carlton, what's up, my brother? Who Dat to you, Young City 9th Ward. Who Dat to you, Torrey Shepard Sr. Who Dat to you, It's Poppy 504. What's up, fam? Who Dat to you, Gundam. Who Dat to brother Gundam as well. Brother Derek Cropper. Who Dat to you as well. It's Baraka Longmire. Who Dat to you, Pammy Whammy. Who Dat to you as well. Please excuse the internet is kind of fuzzy to this morning, fam. I don't know what the hell going on with that, why it's acting like that, but please bear with me. I'm pretty sure it'll clear up. But big ups to the rest of the fam. Craig Ingram, who Dat to you as well. Ken Rasa Bloodstone, who Dat DLP. What's up, DLP? Who Dat to you, fam. Yes, yes, it was fun. It was no shenanigans at the Endymion last night. It was fun. A lot of traffic or whatnot, but it was good. It was cool. Tex Saint, who that to you as well. Good to see you, brother. Much love to the kings and queens of Tacoma, man. I see y'all, each and every last one of y'all in the building. All right, let's who else we got there. I think I got everybody. What's up, Dimitri? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. All right, Ant my ninja, who that to you? What's up, Hoodie? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you as well. So, brother Dada, who that to you? Tramal, who that to you, my brother? In the groove, who that to you, brother? Appreciate you as well, in the groove. I appreciate all the family members, man. Thank y'all greatly for being here in the live stream with me. So before we get going, I'd like to give a shout out to Hoodie, who is the sponsor of the Sports Coma this month. Hoodie Jube, my boy. He's sponsoring the Coma, so please feel free to give him a subscribe, man. Is he doing some good work, man? And let me tell you something. It's tough when you're trying to build a platform and you have a job somewhere and you're trying to do two things at once. And let me tell you something. It's not easy. It takes certain things to get there, and it draws you. You know, it forces you to be more consistent, persistent. And you have to be dedicated in order to succeed at something like that. It takes a serious level of dedication. So a lot of the family members do have that and succeed every day in the things that they do in life. So for those people, I like to give a shout out, because it's not easy and it's so easy to quit. But for those who hold on and they have some gumption, old school word, and they have stick to itiveness, another old school word, they're going to succeed. So with that being said, Hoodie is the sponsor for the Sports Coma this month. Please feel free to give him a shout out and to subscribe if you hadn't already hit his channel. So much love to the fam. I appreciate each and every. What's up, Tim? Who that to you? I appreciate you, Derek, for saying that as well. So with that being said, let's get on into it, fam. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it populating, baby. Let's get it. All right, hold on here. Let me make sure here. Just give me a second, fam. Hold on here. That's not what's supposed to happen. All right, hold on. Give me just a second, fam. Let me hold on here. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get my share screen right. It's not quite working right. Hold on here. All right, let's try it again here and see what pops up this time. All right, now so let's get it going here, fam. As you can see, hold on here. Let me see if it's still working here. Give me just a second, fam. Let me make sure all my stuff is right here. I don't know why my share screen ain't working too good. All right, hold on. All right, thank you, Hoodie. Thank you for your super chat, fam. He said, yes, sir, 2 jobs. Hold on here. All right, there we go. We good. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. Saints create nearly $34 million in salary cap space by restructuring Michael Thomas, Ramczyk, and Andrews Pete's deal. I know a lot of people wanted to see that happen. Yes, sir. And thank you, Hoodie. Says, yes, sir, 2 jobs in YouTube. Who that to you? It's tough. But hey, man, let me tell you something, man. When you dedicated, man, it's a walk in the park, right? It's a walk in the park, not so much, right? Anyway, Saints create $34 million in salary cap space by restructuring Mike Thomas and Ramczyk, along with Andrews Pete's deal. This is from NFL.com. Mickey Loomis said it again. Talk to Dennis. The Saints general manager is no stranger to salary cap maneuvering with the Saints severely over the projected salary cap. Loomis went to work on alleviating the burden Saturday. NFL Network's insider Ian Rappaport reported Saints created nearly $34 million. Some have less than this, but according to what the NFL.com is reporting, it's $34 million in cap space by restructuring 3 marquee contracts: wide receiver Michael Thomas, offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk, and guard Andrews Pete. Rappaport adds that Thomas and Ramczyk's restructurings netted more than $26 million in cap space, while Andrews Pete's created an additional $7.8 million. New Orleans Saints now sits roughly $42 million over the projected salary cap of $202.8 million after Saturday's adjustments per SportTrack, which is one of my favorite resources that I like to use. With free agency just weeks away, look for the Saints and Loomis to find more ways to fix the team's cap pains. You can see Mike says a fresh start isn't a new place. It's a mindset. All right. Trying to drop a little something on you right there from King Guard Mike there. But yeah, this is some of the par for the course with the black and gold. We knew, like I said, they have until, what is it? I want to say until March the 16th to get all of this stuff in place and to make it happen. So with that being said, the Saints continue to kind of move and shake and bake and get things going. So congratulations on that 34 million, and they got 40 something million. Family, do we realize that the Saints between last year and this year were almost 200 million over the cap? They were 170 plus $1 million in the last 2 years to get under the cap to compete in the NFL. That is an absolute feat. You know, that will literally bury some teams sometimes to have that much, that much cap restraint, that much bearing them down. But the Saints just navigated so very well. All right, let's move to the next article right here. And this one right here says Jameis Winston's contract set to begin talks with QB. Now, Jameis Winston's contract, Saints set to begin talks with the QB ahead of the 2022 NFL draft. This is per reports by Cody Benjamin from CBS Sports covering the NFL. So with that being said, a lot of positive is the Saints, and a lot of people want to know what would be the next move. Saints set to open talks with Jameis. Is that a big surprise? Not really a big surprise if you think about it, because the reality is we knew that the black and gold would eventually move into doing this, because you think about the I guess you could say I won't say track record, but the steps that the team are making since Coach Payton stepped down and then they hired Dennis Allen. It's all been not really a surprise. You know what I'm saying? A few sprinkles in there like the Eric Bieniemy thing. And by the way, Eric Bieniemy did go back to the Kansas City Chiefs to be the offensive coordinator again, by the way. But the Saints pretty much did what we thought they were going to do. Coach Payton kind of let them know he wanted Dennis Allen to be his successor, in which he was. We kind of knew that Pete Carmichael would be the offensive coordinator before he said he didn't, but now he does. And then, of course, we knew that the staff would eventually move into solidifying its offensive pieces, a few new people here and there, but ultimately the same staff. We knew that it'll come between Coach Richard and Ryan Nielsen to be the coordinator, but they were co-coordinators. So we've been pretty much steady on line of what we thought that we were going to get from the New Orleans Saints. Jameis fits right in the line because he fits the model that they have set, where they want to be able to have. They don't want to tear up the team. They want to stay on the trajectory or the path that they're currently on. So it makes sense to go to Jameis Winston. It'd be his third year. He's definitely familiar with what the Saints system is going to do. But my thing is, give him some competition as well. In case injuries happen, you can have another guy. Is Teddy Bridgewater alone will compete with Jameis Winston? The money would have to make sense for that to happen. But like I said, I would still like to have a quarterback that competes with Jameis, and then of course a developmental quarterback. I think Taysom Hill is not that guy. He's a weapon. I just don't think he's a very good quarterback. But anyway, let's get into the report by Jameis Winston and the Saints. The Saints will have a new head coach in 2022 with Dennis Allen replacing Coach Payton. They might also have a new quarterback when incumbent starters Jameis Winston set to hit free agency in March. Also sprinkle upon what I just said with the fact that Cam Jordan was out there recruiting everybody and his mama to come here to be the quarterback. all makes for an exciting offseason, doesn't it? That doesn't mean New Orleans isn't prioritizing the potential reunion with Winston. However, if the team hasn't begun negotiations with the veteran QB, it will very soon, according to NFL media's Jim Trotter, who reported Friday that Winston figures to remain one of its top options under center. Now, here's the quote here. They're going to explore every option as it relates to that position. Well, that's good news, meaning the draft, trades, and free agency try to sit on the NFL Network. But if they go the free agent route, the quarterback that makes the most sense is Jameis Winston. He's been in the system for 2 years. They've taken the time to develop him. He has a relationship with Pete Carmichael, who will be calling plays. My understanding is if they have not already opened contract talks with him, they will very shortly, which is good news for a lot of the Jameis Winston lovers. The 28-year-old Winston headlines a razor-thin free agent class of veteran QBs after his first run as the Saints' full-time starter. The former number 1 overall pick got off to a solid start in 21, throwing 14 touchdowns against 3 interceptions during a 5-2 stretch. He had it going on. It was on set to have his best year, but a Week 8 ACL tear ended his season prematurely. Entering free agency, he doesn't figure to command a lucrative deal, both as a result of his injury and a spotty track record as the Buccaneers starter in 2015, 2019. See, they still look at Jameis as Tampa Bay Jameis, and there is a premium on New Orleans Jameis, not so much on Tampa Bay Jameis. But we'll see, because Jameis said he wants to be here. We'll see if he really has no competition to take the job. And I don't know if he's a path of least resistance type of guy, which listen, he done worked hard the last 3 years to be the Saints quarterback. He's grew up as a Saints person, a family member, loving the Saints. He has an opportunity to guide the team again, but with the same personnel. So we'll see. To me, it makes sense, but we'll see how it all shakes monetarily speaking. Still, the Saints face the NFL's most dire salary cap situation this offseason, so it's unclear how much they'll have to spend at QB, where they also have a backup Taysom under contract. New Orleans could also look to the first round of April's draft to add to the position. The Saints currently hold the 17th overall selection in the draft, and that is incorrect. I think it is the 18th pick for it by Cody Benjamin, and I'm gonna show some more articles here about the draft today. So we just gonna cycle through this thing. So let's get to the next article right here. And since we talking draft, let's go on in that thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, the Saints preparing. Let's get it here. Hold on just a second. This is from NOLA.com. So Saints preparing for the return of the NFL Combine. Here's what to look for from Indianapolis. It's by Luke Johnson and the crew at NOLA.com. All right. Not even Mardi Gras can stop the New Orleans Saints from packing their bags for a trip to the NFL's epicenter in Indianapolis. After the C-19 pandemic forced it to take a 1-year hiatus, the National Scouting Combine is returning to its usual location this year. As usual, the Saints will be there in force with members of their scouting and coaching staffs making a trip to evaluate the next wave of talent. The Combine's absence was sorely felt a year ago, and not because teams were not able to gather and watch how fast players runs or how high they jump. The Combine is a comprehensive event in which the NFL clubs also engage with the prospects face to face and have a chance to conduct their own medical evaluations. The NFL invited 324 players to participate in this year's Combine, including several with Louisiana ties. Physical testing and on-field drills begin Wednesday, with quarterbacks, receivers, and tight ends, followed by running backs and offensive linemen Thursday. The defensive linemen and linebackers Friday, and D-backs and specialists are on Friday. Here are a couple of things to keep in mind as it relates to the Saints at this year's event, RAS. For those who follow the event on social media and Twitter specifically, it'll be a good idea to follow Kent LaPlatte, who goes by MathBomb username. The creator of the relative athletic score, which is a 0 to 10 score relative to a player's position based on their measurable pro day or combine results. The higher the score, the more athletic a player is relative to their size and position. The data goes back to 87, but the most important part is the trend the Saints have followed under their current leadership in recent years. Take a look back at 7 players the Saints drafted last year, and 6 of them had a RAS score of 9 or higher, which Platt considers an elite grade. Take it back even further, each of the Saints' top picks since 2014 has had an RAS of 8.5 or better. There are some expectations to this rule. The Saints used a second-round pick on Von Bell in 2016. He had a poor 3.65 RAS grade, but generally speaking, the Saints tend to target players who score well on Platt's system. Good to know. Medical evaluations. Historically, the Saints have placed a lot of energy into finding any potential medical red flags before they select a player, and this is one of the biggest benefits of the Combine, resulting to its usual route in 2022. About 150 players were invited to Indianapolis last year strictly to conduct medical examinations with a third-party doctor, but they did not allow teams to ask their own questions and conduct their own examinations. A year ago, the Saints may have had serious reservations about selecting a player like Alabama's receiver Jameis Winston, who tore his ACL in the national championship game. Now, New Orleans should have an opportunity to gather its own information about prospects and potential injury issues. And that's from Luke Johnson. A little information to know heading into the scouting combine starting next Wednesday. So it is definitely rolling downhill. And to speak of draft prospects, let's get into it to find out what will we be looking for, because we really not talking about this. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right. Now, this is a couple of these are the team needs. It's also CBS that did this compilation of players. New Orleans Saints top 5 needs unranked. Now, these are the top 5 needs according to CBS's thought process on what the team needs. They said top 5 needs unranked is QB, offensive tackle, wide receiver, defensive line, and safety. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Not bad. I don't know if I will put the QB high, because if you take Jameis there, you know, you might want to, with the, well, it kind of changes a bit. The Saints do have a lot of draft picks this year, but I think wide receiver should be a little higher. I know offensive line means a lot. It depends on what you do with Cesar Ruiz. We know Ramczyk will be your new blindside tackle. Who's going to be the right tackle? You know, you got to think about guys like Landon Young, we drafted out of Kentucky last year. You got to think about guys like Hurst, who might want to be in the competition to get the right tackle position. And you got to think about guys like Andrews Pete. What if the Saints take an offensive lineman and bookend them for the next 5 years next to Big Check Ramczyk? And we start the whole cycle all over again. Could be that. Wide receiver should be a little higher for the Saints, because they definitely, you're talking about the salary cap situation. You might not be able to compete in that arena, so you might want to go to the draft and get talent. And they got a lot of talented wide receivers this year to kind of help that room out. So, I mean, there are several things. I would throw tight end up there, too, toward the back end. But safety, definitely something you need. Malcolm Jenkins is getting old. Marcus Williams, whether they give him his money or not, you're going to still need a developmental safety behind him. But wide receiver, offensive line, QB shouldn't be as high in my book, simply because I think Jameis Winston is a guy you look at. And you will see about that a little later. But I don't know if you want to do that right away. But then again, we don't know how this administration feel about developing a young quarterback. I think they're cool with Jameis and want to keep that going. And you got Ian Book there. I know Coach Payton likes Ian Book, but does Dennis Allen's staff like Ian Book? You know, it all changes a bit. Not terribly a lot, but some. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, the quarterback is a big need for the entire division. The Saints are no exception. New Orleans' first obligation this offseason will be to get cap compliant, as is significantly over the projected salary cap. Once the Saints get this squared away, figuring out the quarterback's position will be priority number one. I don't know if the quarterback position is number one. Perhaps if they're not looking at Jameis Winston, it could be another trade situation that happens. But I think in terms of economics, it makes sense to bring Jameis Winston back. He knows your system. He doesn't create a giant learning curve. He kind of fits right in. His third year should sync properly. You give him offensive line to block for him and weapons to throw to. It's as simple as that. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Just like what we've done recently with the coach and the staff. We don't have to overcomplicate things. Build up your offensive side of the football, offensive line, wide receivers, tight end, running backs, and maybe get a developmental quarterback down the line. But perhaps if you don't believe in a book, but still in all, the Saints have a very good special teams. They have a very good defense. You just want to build up that offensive line. And I do like Willis from Liberty, man. I really like the kid a lot. But, you know, we'll see where they go in it, man. Anything can happen, right? All right, so here we go. Figuring out the quarterback position would be priority number one, according to the writer for New Orleans coach Dennis Allen, which, yeah, that's true. Figuring out the quarterback, that is big. Taysom Hill, Ian Book, and Blake Bortles are under contract for the 2022 season, while Jameis Winston is slated to hit free agency. New Orleans could look to re-sign Winston and keep him as their starter. After all, he did go 5-2 as a starter before suffering a torn ACL that ended his campaign. Even with the departure of Coach Payton, the Saints did keep most of their coaches, so Winston could offer more continuity heading into 2022 season. And that's really what it is about. That's really what it's about. It is really about that. It's really about the continuity thing and keeping that going along with the offensive line. Starting left tackle Teron Armstead is set to hit free agency, so filling the hole could jump higher on the list if he leaves. The Saints could promote James Hurst to the spot, or even move starting right tackle Ryan Ramczyk to the left side. We've been talked about that years ago. If they elect to fill the need in-house, wide receiver should also be an area of focus this offseason for the Saints, as well as Now, Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers in the NFL. When healthy, it remains to be seen how he'll look next year, going after some of the big fish at the position that free agency cycle will likely be unrealistic, but finding depth on their next tier could be an avenue worth pursuing. So you can see it's estimated 76 million overage by the Saints. And of course, CBS Sports have the Saints in various projections taking quarterbacks. Some say Kenny Pickett, QB Ryan Wilson, and Chris, for QB, and they have their reporters there. Corral is another guy they pick, and I'm going to show you some of the picks of what these guys have picked. And this is what I got to give it to the CBS guys. They be doing their due diligence. But this is what Ryan Wilson said. You know, that guy got the lead. He had to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for mock draft. And that dude do like 20 plus mock drafts a day. I mean, he just be rolling the mocks. But anyway, here's, if you scroll on down to where the Saints pick up at 18, see that go to 18 pick right there. You can see Wilson has them taking Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett. And then there's the breakdown right here, Kenny Pickett, to give you a little insight on who's Pickett. And they say, admittedly, we've been all over the board with where the Pickett might end up. And the truth is, we love what he accomplished last season. And New Orleans feels like a perfect fit just about for any young quarterback. The Saints have a good offensive line. Thank you, KT. KT says draft Malik Willis or Fitter in first round. And Dotson in round 2. Okay, thank you. KT, I'm gonna get, I want you to contact me, email, and several other family members. GM Kev, KT. I'm gonna get several other family members and Hoodie and the rest and bring them on the stream next week. And we're gonna do a stream in which we cover some of these players and some of the guys that they like. We're gonna talk about it next week because that's the combine is next week, and we're gonna start going over some of these guys. But anyway, pro comparison, they compare him to Derek Carr there, and they said offensive firepower of the game, give them offensive line. The Saints have a good old line. Well, we do and we don't. We got to get it straight. And the offense firepower, again, will be in the playoff mix in 22. But the only but is a big one. Sean Payton is taking some time off, and he was a huge part of the team's success. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And they give him a rating of 88.43. They compare him to Derek Carr. His strength is made huge leaps during the 21 season, constantly shows great touch on mid-range passes. Ball comes out quickly. On time, maximizes yak on short and intermediate routes, and that's yard after catch. Good athlete who can consistently win with his legs outside the pocket when needed. Weaknesses: doesn't have an elite arm, can sometimes have tunnel vision and might miss open targets downfield instead of opt for the check down or look to run. Ball can lose some steam on deep routes. So that's the knock on Kenny Pickett. And of course, you look at his games, 13 games, he threw for over 4,000 yards. He averaged 67.2. Well, that's his percentage, 67.2. He had 42 touchdowns and against 7 interceptions, which is a pretty good record. That's pretty damn good to throw for 42 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So, I mean, yeah, he definitely got a live arm insofar as he used to throwing the ball a lot for Pittsburgh. So, and then, of course, other people have them the same. The next guy, who is this other guy over here? Was Chris Trapasso and Josh Edwards have the Saints taking quarterbacks too. It's Kenny Pickett as well as Matt Corral. They got him, the Saints taking Corral. The other writer also has him taking Corral. Who is this one? Kenny Stackpole. So all of them across the boards, as you can see, have the Saints taking quarterbacks here. So, I mean, that might change up once, we look at a guy like Jameis Winston and say, Jameis is coming back. But then do you still take a quarterback high if you didn't sign Jameis Winston? You got to slide them down a bit and say, well, if they take Jameis there, we don't look to draft that quarterback high because we can look to a need at the wide receiver position, maybe at the running back position with Elvin Kamara. We thinking he's going to miss some time there. But definitely the needs of the team. And I agree with pretty much a lot of what they're saying in terms of might not be just the order of how this goes. For the Saints, the top 5 needs, but you should notice the majority of the needs should be offensive related. Defensive line they got there. The Saints can fill a lot of defensive line. I don't think we need defensive line help. I'm just gonna keep it trail with you. We don't need defensive line help. We don't need that. Now safety, you could use a safety, but they're not. That should be maybe 3rd or 4th on your list. But D line shouldn't be ahead of safety. And then of course everything should be. Offensive wise, offensive line should be wide receiver should be number 1. Offensive line should be number 2, and then you can fill out the rest of them. But we need help in every room there. So these guys are looking at it like Jameis not there. You take Kenny Pickett to be your quarterback. I don't think that's going to happen like that. And also here's another one right here from CBS right here, bringing it in, and they're showing you, hey man, and this was another mock draft that they did. I'm going to see if this was the same dude. Nah, this was Tom Forinelli, and he had the Saints picking up at 18 as well and taking a quarterback, Desmond Ridder, out of Cincinnati. And they said he projected Saints. He's a 15th ranked prospect, and he's ranked 5th among the quarterback class. He said, I had Corral going to the Saints in my first mock, and I'm switching to pick Desmond Ridder here, but have their strengths. But Ridder might be the safer pick, and he offers plenty of upside as well. So I had some opportunity to watch Ridder, tall quarterback, can throw the ball. I don't think he's better than Malik, to be honest with you. But but to be honest with you, man, I just don't know if the Saints, you want to take a quarterback that high unless Jameis is not the guy. But anyway, just for some of the family members that won't talk about QBs, these are CBS's top-ranked quarterbacks right here. They got Matt Corral there, and Corral at Mississippi State. You can see threw for over 3,000 yards in 13 games, almost 68%, throwing the ball, 20 touchdowns versus 5 interceptions. Malik Willis from Liberty, a lot of people like him, 13 games. He threw for 28.57, 61.1 on the percentage, 27 touchdowns versus 12 interceptions for the young QB out of Liberty. And of course, Kenny Pickett, who a lot of them had, you see his statistics there in 13 contests, over 4,000 yards, 67.2 on the percentage, 42 passing touchdowns versus 7 interception. In any league, college and otherwise, that is impressive. And of course, you see the rest of them. I even seen one that had the Saints looking at Ridder. Sam Howell out of North Carolina, over 3,000 yards, 62.5%, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions out of North Carolina. And there's Ridder from Cincinnati, 3,334 yards, almost 65% completion percentage, 30 touchdowns versus 8 interceptions. And I was looking at film on Carson Strong out of Nevada. 6'4", 215 quarterback, over 4,000 yards versus a 70% completion percentage, 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So that's some of the stuff that they're bringing up as well. All right, but yeah, absolutely. The wide receivers, that I would say offensive, I think wide receiver probably would be up there. Offensive line is not as bad off as, I ain't going to say bad off, I don't want to give it that. But your top star, Michael Thomas, is dealing with coming off a really big injury there. So you want to definitely see about getting talent, being that you looking at the cap situation to be a little difficult. Thank you, Hoodie. He says if Jameson Williams still there at number 18, I would take him because he's going to turn out like Waddle from the Dolphins, but better think he said better, I think, or Trey Burks. Okay, yeah, I like Trey Burks too. A lot of people are big on Trey Burks, but you could imagine having Waddle in a Saints uniform. What he did, man, that kid is tremendous, man. And you need that type of athletic versatility there to keep your offense. You want to talk about explosive and talented? They have some real talented player there. And you'd say, like he just Hoodie, just thank you, Hoodie, for that. And Hoodie talking about Jameson Williams out of Alabama for some of our family members that might not know. In 15 games for Alabama this year, Williams had 79 catches for 1,500 plus yards. He averaged 20 yards a catch and 15 touchdowns. He's 6'2", 189. Got the full bevy, the very talented wide receiver. And Trey Burks out of Arkansas is another one. Big physical wide receiver, 6'6" catches in 12 games, over 1,100 yards. He averages 17 yards per catch, had 11 touchdowns on the season. So you're talking about really good talent. Chris Olave is another good guy that has 60 plus catches, almost 1,000 yards there, averages 14.4 yards per catch, had 13 touchdowns. And he wasn't even the top dude at Ohio State. It was Garrett Wilson. 70 catches, 1,000 plus yards, 15 yards per catch on 12 touchdowns. And a lot of people do. It's just they have a really good chunk of them. I like London too, man. Drake London out of USC. I was watching tape on him. Big physical wide receiver, 88 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12 yards per catch, and 7 touchdowns in 8 games on the season. So you can imagine what he looked like if he had started full season. He would have had really monster stats there. So there are quite a few wide receivers there you can look at. But yeah, they got some real good plus talent in the wide receiver room. And we know that once the Saints sign Jameis Winston, they got to get some talented wide receivers, more than one. And I'm not no disrespect to Callaway. He's going to have a step up. LaJordan Humphrey's going to step up. We're going to re-sign Deontay Harris, who's restricted. And I think they'll be fine. I also like Quan Baker developmental as well. But Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, and Trey Burks and Drake London and Olave and guys like that. Even Justin Ross out of Clemson is a pretty decent. I was watching on him. Pickens is another good one from Georgia. I was watching. They're not as good as the top 3 or 4 guys, but they definitely elevate the talent level in your wide receiver room. And the Saints definitely need that on offense, fam. We got a lot of work to do offensively speaking, okay? All right, so let's keep it moving here, and then we'll get into one of our final articles right here, which is NFL rumors as Fox set to land Super Bowl winning head coach to replace Troy Aikman. That's right. Your coach, Coach Payton, is looking like he's lining up to be that guy. This is coming from NewJersey.com website, and they're covering it. Mike Rothstein, another piece of the puzzle is getting ready to fall in place. Front Office Sports' Michael McCarthy reports former New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton is negotiating with Fox about becoming the network's top game analyst. How about that? That chair is expected to open up because former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman is poised to leave Fox and join ESPN for Tony Romo's money to call Monday night game. I don't know who would want to get that dry turkey, all that gravy, but boy, you talk about a dry ass commentator, man. Troy Aikman, that somebody need to take him and dip him in gravy, because that's one dry ass turkey. Or either you know what, since we from down here, somebody might want to hit him with that Cajun injector. Shoot him up with that Cajun injection. Boy, that's a dry ass turkey there. Sources told FOS that Payton could expect a contract worth $10 million annually. Aikman is reportedly set to receive a 5-year, $90 million deal. Boy, they're giving all that money away for turkeys like that. Says, I think Fox takes a 1-year risk on Payton and sees how it goes, said one source familiar with the network strategy. If it goes well, maybe they'll ante up and keep him long term. If it doesn't, then Sean Payton returns to coaching. Coach Payton gonna sign with these people for 1 year. Then he gonna go to Dallas next year. When you ain't so mad at him after the Saints done won this upcoming year, then that'll be, you won't be so mad at him that he's about to get ready to take the Dallas job after being a commentator for 1 year. Very strategic there, Coach Payton. Aikman previously had been linked to the Amazon Prime, which is the exclusive home for Thursday night football games beginning next season. Amazon wanted to pair Aikman and NBC Sports legend Al Michaels with Mike Tirico to slide into Sunday's night football broadcast booth with Collinsworth. However, ESPN is now considering making a play for Michaels, as well as Joe Buck, who was Aikman's tag team partner at Fox for the last couple of decades. Payton stepped down as the head coach of the Saints last month, indicated he would be open to working in television. He also indicated a possible willingness to return to the sideline down the road. With the Cowboys, Jerry Jones a potential suitor, per McCarthy. The second the Cowboys fire McCarthy, listen to what they say. This is from McCarthy. And it's not the McCarthy, the coach, but it's the writer. The second the Cowboys fire McCarthy, it's Payton's job. The whole world knows that. He said it. It's tricky to hire a coach who might only do it for 1 year. You want to build a business. You want to build what you had with Aikman for 20 years. If Payton doesn't get a deal with Fox, it's possible New Jersey native Greg Olsen, the network's #2 analyst this season, could be bumped up to. And that's a crazy dude right there. You could tell he's a good guy, but you could tell Olsen took a lot of shots to the helmet. He really threw it off. Good commentator, know the game of football, but he's crazy as hell. In addition, McCarthy reports Amazon has reached out to Olsen about doing studio work for Thursday Night Football. Have several NFL teams regarding coaching or front office positions. And then there's the biggest wild card of all. You know it. Tom Terrific Brady will announce his retirement earlier this month. The New York Post Andrew Merjand reports Brady will play. Other names Fox watching, according to McCarthy, is Los Angeles Rams coach Sean McVay, former analyst and current San Francisco 49ers GM John Lynch, former San Diego Chargers Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers. However, Marchand reports Amazon reached out to Lynch. According to sources, there was a dinner. Lynch probably could have tripled his salary, which is reported around $5 million. As GM, Lynch, I'm told, declined and wanted to remain in the front office. Why would he leave? He got him winning over there. He ain't going nowhere, But anyway, NFL, and that's pretty much what it is, fam, on some of these news and notes dealing with the rest of the team. All right, Hoodie says, it okay if we take a lamb or a person in the first round pick for Sean freaking Payton. Yeah, we still going to owe him some money. I mean, he's still going to owe some draft picks or whatnot, but we should be fine. All right, fam. So that's going to pretty much do it for the stream. We're going to do a recap here. Saints create nearly $34 million in salary cap space by restructuring Mike Thomas, Ryan Ramczyk, Andrews Pete's contracts. Jameis Winston Saints and Jameis are set to begin talks ahead of the 2022 NFL free agency. We also know that the Saints are preparing for the return to the Combine in Indianapolis, which starts Wednesday of next week. So there'll be a lot of stuff going on with that. Thank you, Hoodie, for your super chat. And also, we go over the Saints' top 5 needs going into the draft, as people think quarterback is one of them, offensive line, wide receiver, defensive line, and safety. We also went over the draft in which some of the supposed experts thinks the black and gold going to do. The consensus is quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. And of course, we talked about Coach Payton about to take a job in television before he takes a job with the Dallas Cowboys. So don't be mad at the man, because he's trying to advance himself, because he's trying to go home for where he came from, back to the Dallas Cowboys. So it's all good. All right, so family, that's going to do it for the stream. I appreciate y'all for chiming in on this episode of Tacoma. Much love to the fam. If you hadn't hit the like button, feel free to hit upon the like button. Hit the like button for your boy. Feel free to share the show with other Saints faithful as well. And this is going to be a fun time. The draft coming up, Mickey Loomis and Kai Harley and the rest of the guys look to trim the bill down. $34 million sliced off the $70+ million the Saints owe in here. So it creates quite the drop off of funds. There's still some slicing to do and trimming to do, and we're going to be here to cover it every step of the way. All right, Tech Saints say after picking a receiver at the 18, I'll make a trade to get back into the end of the first round like they did with Mark Ingram. Huh? Early in the second to pick James Williams. I don't think Jameis Williams going to make it out of the first round. I think he'll be gone, but before maybe four of the top receivers are going to, 4 of the top 5 wide receivers, I think are going to be gone. But you never know how the draft somebody might run bad, or you never know, it might be some injury concerns there that allow them to slide. So these things do happen. They do happen indeed. So with that being said, listen, fam, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all on the Monday stream. I'm coming at y'all Sunday stream because I didn't see y'all on the Friday stream. Y'all got that? So with that being said, y'all hit the like button, man. Appreciate y'all for chiming in, and I'm going to holler at y'all later. Who that to you? And I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.